So, Berto, in these quarantine pandemic times, I am just looking to chat with my best friend about movies. So, if you could call up so-and-so and get him on the line, then I could
just say, let's make sure we get your best friend on the line.
No, seriously, I find that I just want an excuse to have some fun with you, and I thought we would just make an episode in which we talked about movie trivia. We would quiz each other and see who wins the game.
I'm pretty sure you know a lot more trivia, but still, we'll play.
This is the Psychology in Seattle podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor, and my favorite movie is Clockwork Orange, followed quickly by maybe Brazil, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Inside Out, and other movies like that.
Nice.
Who are you, Berto?
My name is My name is Humberto Castañeda. I'm a horse shouter, and my favorite movie is Amadeus. It was American Psycho, which is now my second favorite movie. But after rewatching Amadeus with the Seattle Symphony playing the music along with it at the Benaroya Hall last year, I was like, oh, what am I doing? Of course, Amadeus is my favorite movie.
Yeah, so, I rewatched that because you talked about how much you liked it, and because I saw it when it came out in the late 80s, early 90s. And I couldn't appreciate it at that age the way that I can now. Yeah, it's just an almost perfect movie.
So good.
The comedy, plus, what's his name, the Italian guy,
Salieri,
the guy who won the Oscar.
Oh yeah,
he is just it's perfectly written, perfectly acted, perfectly directed part and it's such a unique character. You can't think of another movie that has a character like that. For Die Hard, there's a lot of movies that at the very least attempt a guy stuck in a bad place trying to get out of it. That guy in that movie, I can't think of another movie that has a character with that story. And it's crazy. And it's so relatable in his envy of Mozart, right?
Right. It breaks on the surface, it breaks so many rules of storytelling or whatever, Right. It's like the main character and narrator is this basically unreliable narrator who is like the antagonist of what you would think would be the protagonist. Yeah. And it's just crazy. It's so good.
He's essentially the bad guy, but you relate to him.
Totally.
All right, let's go back and forth, tit for tat, question for question, head to head, mano a mano.
Mano a mano.
What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane?
Oh. Rosebud. We should say spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mark these with a underline if you got them right. All right, where's my question?
And by the way, I hadn't watched Citizen Kane until like 4 years ago. I had been always avoiding any joke or anything to do with Rosebud because I didn't want it spoiled for me. And luckily, it was never spoiled. It was crazy. All right. Where were the Hunger Games arena scenes filmed? When they're fighting each other and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know. If I was to take a guess, I would say Oregon?
Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very jungly. Yeah, I don't know if you watched the movie, right?
I mean, barely.
Yeah. It's very jungly and it looks like they would have done Costa Rica, but it was Hawaii.
Who played, so make sure you mark that I got it wrong. Or do you want me to keep track?
It's okay.
Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate?
Oh, one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know. I wouldn't have given this normally, but
Dustin Hoffman and
this is one of your favorite movies.
Margot Rose, Margie,
and Bancroft.
Oh, I knew that too. Oh, I'm so bankrupt. Oh.
I think she was nominated, if not won.
Yes. I feel terrible.
What's my question?
See, I'm being sexist for not knowing that question, not knowing that answer. Okay, what was the first movie that used the Wilhelm scream?
Oh God. I don't know. It's like an obscure. It's obscure. It's either a World War II movie or it's a cowboy movie, which is not hard to guess. That's like all action movies. In the
What
50s.
year would you say?
I would say I'm going to say 53.
Oh, okay. Actually, you should get like half credit because it was 51. This weird movie called Distant Drums I've never heard of. I don't know if it's a weird movie, but I never heard of it. But actually, the Wilhelm name didn't come from that movie. It came from when it was used in 53 in a war movie, and Private Wilhelm something or other. That effect is used with him when he gets shot in the knee.
Yeah, give me a point for that because
so you get a point
because knowing the movie, that's impossible. No one.
Well, I wouldn't know, but you mean 53.
I'm asking you Rosebud and Anne Bancroft. I mean, come on.
Well, I just figured because you knew you're movie buff and Wilhelm scream is so famous. But right,
I'm not that. I'm more of a movie watcher. That's more of like a
trivia guy.
Yeah, you've got to seek to remember trivia. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
Feature-length animated movie. The first one ever released. Snow White?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Full name Snow White
or something?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know what year. All right, give me a question.
Okay. All right. Who played Zeus in the original Clash of the Titans?
Oh, was it Laurence Olivier?
Yes.
Yeah, I loved that movie. I loved that movie so much. I've told this on the podcast before. My grandparents in Spokane, they had cable TV, but they didn't have HBO. And back in the day, you just had HBO. That was the only channel that did. And they were playing Clash of Titans on HBO. I could tell because I could hear the movie. And it was all wavy. Back then when you couldn't see you didn't just not have access to a channel. You actually could hear what was happening on that channel, but you couldn't see it because they would sort of scramble the image.
Oh, I remember that.
And so I watched the entirety of Clash of the Titans wavy because I knew every beat in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, your question.
Oh my gosh.
In the Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
Oh, right. Okay. I know this because of threads on like the internet and stuff where it's like, oh, he's been red pilled. So he takes the red pill.
That's right, red pill.
Yeah. But see, I would have said the blue pill. It's just that I've seen too many things where people are like, oh, he's been red pilled, which unfortunately has been taken to mean that you've been let in on all sorts of weird conspiracies and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, they use it for like, oh, flat earther, you've been red pilled. Good job.
Yeah. Or you've believed in feminism, you've been red pilled. Yeah. All right. Where's my question?
All right. Oh, okay. What phrase appeared recurringly as an inside joke in all John Landis movies, up to and including the Thriller video?
What phrase?
Yeah, it's a short phrase that appeared in all his movies in either a billboard or someone says it dramatically.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie, obviously, like something that what's his face would say. It's like it's some turn of a phrase that's pretty famous. It's not coming to mind. What is it?
It's actually the name of my debut album with Plastic Polly. See you next Wednesday.
Oh.
It's totally anticlimactic. But in Thriller, when they come up to Michael Jackson, or not Michael Jackson, the movie that Michael and his girlfriend are watching at the beginning. I guess it is. Isn't it Michael also in the movie because they're watching one of his movies or something? And they come up to him and it's like, he's dead. It's like, there's a note. What does it say? And then the guy looks at the camera and says, see you next Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And like in American Werewolf in London, it's written in a billboard. And then like in all his movies, it's like someone says it or it's written somewhere. Anyways.
For what movie did Tom Hanks get his first Academy Award nomination?
Nomination? Eeks. Oh, man. Well, let's see. I know he got a I know he got one for Philadelphia Story. He actually got an Oscar, and he got one for Forrest Gump.
But this would have been...
This would have been this nomination for Big.
Yep.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a lucky guess.
All right.
It was almost the only other movie I can remember right now.
Well, he was in Splash.
Splash, yeah.
And Volunteers.
And, Bachelor Party.
And Bachelor Party.
But I didn't think any of those.
Yeah.
All right. How much did The Lighthouse, the recent Lighthouse movie that we loved.
God.
How much did The Lighthouse cost to make? It's multiple choice.
Oh.
4 million,
Yeah.
11 million,
Yeah.
or 18 million?
I'm going to say 18.
4 million.
Really?
It was way cheaper. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is. Now,
I mean, that must have meant they paid the actors almost nothing.
Like they did it on, like, yeah, we love the script or something. I'm always fascinated by how much a movie costs to make, even when it's super cheap.
Well, yeah, but when you think about Pattinson typically gets what, 5 million in a movie or something.
Yeah.
And maybe, and if you have like Tom Cruise, it's something more than that. And then you've got your director that's going to get a lot of money. You get your screenwriters that get a lot of money. You have producers that, might get money. You have all the key grips and the food. I mean, just the food,
right?
Just like carting all that food, because you have to feed everyone. Everyone's not on their own. Now, in small budgets, they might have done this for this movie of just like, look, there's restaurants nearby. You're on your own. Like, but they probably didn't want to do that. Anyway, so 4 million, that is surprising. Okay. What's the name of the skyscraper in Die Hard?
Oh, yes. I know this one. It's the Yakitori Tower, but not that. It's the Akatoni, Akamani,
Nakatomi.
The Nakatomi Tower.
The Yakitori.
Oh, I was so sorry. I was so racist. Like, I knew it was a Japanese name.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay. So this one hurts me. What guitar does Marty McFly play in the climax scene of Back to the Future? When he's at the dance and his hands disappearing.
Well, I believe, it's a hollow body, and I believe it's a Gretsch, but it could be a Gibson.
It hurts me.
Hurts you?
It hurts me personally.
Because you... Wait, it hurts you personally.
Well, it brings back painful...
memories for you? That I know about?
Yeah.
Did you have a bass that was a Gretsch? I don't know. It looks like a Gretsch to me.
Okay. Well, you almost had... It was a Gibson ES 345, which I had, that red cherry hollow body, and I sold it.
I don't think I knew that. Did I know that?
I sold it in 2008. We did know each other at the time.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. And I'm still sad about that. It's... I never knew it when I watched the movie, but when I watched the movie more recently, I was like, oh my God, that's my guitar.
Yeah.
And by the way, that guitar had not been produced yet in the year that that's supposed to be taking place.
Oh, of course.
So it was an anachronism.
Right. What real life, on again, off again Hollywood power couple starred in the film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh, yeah, of course. Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
But I
would show that movie in my couples therapy class sometimes.
Brilliant. I have rarely been so stressed watching a movie. It's kind of like Revolutionary Road.
Yeah. Which is another movie I would show in my couples therapy class.
All right. Why did George Lazenby only play Bond once?
Huh. Why? Why did he play it only once? I know I've known this, and I used to be such a Bond head when I was a teenager. Lazenby played it only once. I think, well, this is probably wrong, but from my memory, he wasn't supposed to be the next Bond. And they wanted, it was some kind of contract problem, and they pulled someone in randomly as a temporary person. That's my best guess.
So that part's true. I mean, what's his name? Sean Connery, for some reason, and I don't remember the reason, like he couldn't do it or didn't want to do it or whatever. But he actually was offered, he quit before the premiere. He was like, he didn't like it, and his contract was too restrictive. And so before it even premiered, so he didn't even know how well it did, he quit the contract. He's like, I'm out.
I really like George Lazenby.
I know. He could have kept going. I thought he was a good Bond.
Yeah.
That movie actually was good.
Yeah.
So it's bizarre, but
I actually have a question for you, similar. Well, I guess I'll change it, because the question was, in what 1969 James Bond thriller does the famous spy fall in love and get married? Well, do you know the name of the movie? But I have a different question.
Okay, so in that one, The Spy Who Loved Me.
No.
Russia with Love?
No.
Wait. Okay, sorry. Ask the question again.
Well, what movie was George Lazenby in? What Bond movie?
Oh, okay. On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who plays the woman he marries?
Of course. What am I? So dumb. Oh, geez. It's not Jacqueline Smith. No.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
She was on Game of Thrones.
What? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it the matron in the other family that marries Joffrey? Like,
yeah.
Not the girl, but the mom. Like
Olenna Tyrell. Yeah.
Her?
Do you know her name?
No.
Diana Rigg.
Diana Rigg. She was the Bond girl?
Yeah. And she also was in the Avengers, and she was
okay.
She was quite a number back in the day.
Okay. Wait, she was the gal in the Avengers show?
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Quite a career. All right.
Yeah.
What's your question?
All right. Okay, sorry. So you did not get this one right, but okay. Who played Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter?
Oh, well, that's Pattinson.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando could have been a contender in what 1954 crime drama?
Which I wish I could say that I've seen it, because it's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I recently watched Marlon Brando. I had a brief Marlon Brando obsession about 3 years ago.
On the Waterfront.
On the Waterfront. Very good.
I could have been a contender. I've never seen it. I want to watch it.
I mean, it's interesting historically, that in some James Dean movies, to see, like, because people were freaking out about Marlon Brando's acting style. To our eyes, it just looks like acting. But it's interesting to see, like, this was the first time someone acted so realistically, so to speak, so vulnerably. And for that reason, if you understand the history, I think On the Waterfront has a lot more meaning. It's similar to Akira Kurosawa movies. If you just watch like Seven Samurai, you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. But when you watch the Criterion commentary and you realize that the things that Kurosawa was doing, no one in the world had done before, and you're just like, oh, okay, well, now I appreciate it. Anyway,
interesting.
What question for me you got there?
All right. So this is sort of a hybrid, because it goes into a TV show a bit, but then it was a movie. But so what superhero movie did the main actor played by Adrian Grenier in Entourage, what superhero movie did they do?
I never watched Entourage.
Oh, you never watched Entourage?
I find that movie to be repulsive.
Well, okay, guess. It's one of the famous superheroes.
Superman.
No, I'll give you better than that. It's one of the famous superheroes, but obviously it would have been sort of a joke because it's a comedic show. And it might be very appropriate once you hear it because of how you feel about the actual movie that ended up being made.
Aquaman?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give you a half point. So they actually, because, they were trying to, in the show, like, oh, he gets offered a superhero role. But they wanted to keep it sort of like a little funny. And what's the superhero you wouldn't expect them to do? Aquaman. And so it became sort of a running joke. All right.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. In fact, I'm watching, that's all I watch these days. I'm binge watching every episode from the very beginning.
Oh, yes.
And I'm doing, this is like the third or fourth time that I've done this. But I hate Entourage. Like, I watch that show, I'm just like, this is just so boring. It's just so like, yay, we have money. Like,
I can understand.
It's like Sex in the City. I've watched Sex in the City, and when they go on like a shopping spree or something, or they have like a giant closet with all the shoes, and they spend 10 minutes luxuriating in all the shoes. I'm just like, this movie is not for me, and Entourage is just not for me.
I totally hear you. It's a guilty pleasure for me. I hear you.
What famous LA landmark is heavily featured in Rebel Without a Cause?
Right. And then in the movie that was overrated, with the one with LA, the LA
Confidential?
No, recent musical.
Oh, La La Land.
La La Land, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overrated in your mind.
In my mind, yes. Yeah. The observatory, the planetarium, the
Griffith Observatory.
Oh, it is an observatory.
But it's the Griffith Observatory.
Okay, but you got to give me a half point.
Okay, half point.
Okay.
Next question.
All right. All right. Who was the bad guy in Live and Let Die? Or the name of the bad guy, like in the movie, not the actor. The name of the bad guy in James Bond, Live and Let Die.
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, unless it was, what's his face from Spectre.
No.
Okay,
Remember, it's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's this.
I don't remember.
Okay. Kananga. Kananga. He's one of the famous ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you not? That's one of my favorite Bond movies too. But
it's
the
been
music
a
has a lot to do
long
with it.
time since I've watched those. I mean, if you asked me like, about Jaws or Odd Job or
Sure.
Or Pussy Galore, that kind of thing, I'd probably get that. But the bad guy in Live and Let Die. What's the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time? This is hard. I'll give you a hint if you don't know.
Highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I feel like I know this.
It's a little surprising, but do you have a guess?
I feel like I know this because of R rating being, it was like part of it. It's like, and they rated R and it still made Terminator 2.
So the hint I'll give you is that it is a very recent movie.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, highest grossing, right? So.
Highest grossing, R rated.
And it's very obviously R. And I know you've seen it. I know.
Deadpool?
No, Joker.
Oh my God, that's the highest grossing R movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Which is interesting,
Yeah.
Because I knew it did well, but I don't think I knew it did that well.
I didn't know it did that well, but that's interesting. Okay. What movie featured Brando, like Marlon Brando, and Val Kilmer?
Oh God. Once you tell me it, I'm going to shoot myself. But
it's not a great movie, hint.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Brando didn't do very many good movies past his golden years. And Kilmer. Well, wait. Brando wasn't in Heat, was he?
No.
There was an older guy in Heat. It's not that real kind of faint. Oh, I'm not going to remember the movie. 3 years ago, if you would have asked me, I would have known. What's the movie called?
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Right. That was the one that was in my head, but that wouldn't have came to my head because that was like a disastrous movie where they went over budget and it was like all these problems and Marlon Brando was causing all these problems and yeah.
It was towards the end of his life. And South Park always made fun of this because I don't know if you remember early on, one of their main characters, or recurring characters, I should say, was a Marlon lookalike who was a mad scientist who experimented with monkeys and all these things.
I didn't know that was supposed to be Marlon Brando.
Yeah, it was from Island of Dr. Moreau because he wore like the shirt and he had the crazy laboratory.
Which movie was incorrectly announced as the winner of Best Picture at the 2017 Academy Awards?
Oh, of course, because I won because of this. La La Land.
Right. So
and Moon, was it Moondance? Moonchild.
No, wait.
Moonraker.
No, I would have been able to say it if Moonlight. Yeah. So I have an Oscar party every year, and we have a big contest, and so when La La Land won, which was the favored pick, Berto won the entire contest, which means that he gets a bunch of prizes that I give out, a bunch of figurines and whatnot. And so Berto's running around going, I won. And then all of a sudden they're just like, wait a second. And then Moonlight wins. And then Taron, I think, won. All right. What's the next question?
All right. You're not going to like this question because you don't like these movies. But it's just, maybe I'll make it multiple choice. Unless you can just answer. Okay. How many Saw movies have there been?
6.
Actually, that's really close. It was 8. Okay. You might get a half point. Because you don't watch these.
Let's see. In what 1979 James Bond movie does Bond go to space?
Oh, yeah. Moonraker.
Yeah, you just said that too.
Yeah. Moonraker is, when I was a kid, was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
As I grew up, I was like, oh, let's jump the shark big time. Let jump the Jaws.
Yeah, because you know what happened was Star Wars came out, and there was Star Wars Mania in 1977, and so they're like, oh well, we gotta make a space James Bond movie, and so it was just like terrible.
Okay. Oh wait, my turn, right? All right. What movie does Cary Grant nearly get poisoned in by a couple of ladies?
I don't know. Is it Gone with the Wind?
No. It's the name of the movie. The hint is basically in the movie. It's kind of the name of a poison.
I don't know.
Old ladies. Oh, okay. I thought you might. Arsenic and Old Lace. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Okay,
I've heard the phrase before.
It's a really funny one. I recommend it. It's like this comedy. These two old. Well, anyways, I won't give too much away, but it involves arsenic.
Okay. What animated classic was the first film in the late 20th century Disney Renaissance?
What
animated classic was the first film?
Yeah.
For the Disney Renaissance.
Was it the Beauty and the Beast?
No, you almost said it. Little Mermaid.
Lion King.
Oh no, Little Mermaid.
Oh, so I wouldn't have gotten it.
I thought really?
It was okay, so the Little Mermaid started the new streak.
Yeah, Little Mermaid was like late 80s, I believe. Yeah. All right, next question.
What are the rebel bombers called in the old movies? The old Star Wars movies.
The rebel bombers are
the rebel
Y-wings.
bombers. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So I have this book. I don't know if you gave this to me or what, but I have this book of Star Wars trivia that is. So I thought I'd pick from.
Show me the front. I think yes, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the questions are kind of hard. But I thought we'd go with Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, nice.
So let's start here. And I have no idea if this is going to be a good question or not. What did Lando tell Lobot to hold the Imperial forces? Where did Lando tell Lobot to hold the Imperial forces? So I'll give you a chance to guess, but if you don't get it right, then I'll give you the options.
Yeah. Like, because now he's like trying to plot the escape. It's like, hold him at the, oh man.
Oh, you might get it if I give you the options.
Hold him at the port, no, because they want the port, hold him at the, I don't know.
So prison level, mining level, carbon
mining
freeze.
level.
Yeah,
mining level.
Right.
Hold him at the mining level.
Yeah. That's got to be it, right? Or no. It's in the security tower.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound as familiar, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what are the names of the annoying creatures that get stuck to the Millennium Falcon in the Empire Strikes Space Cave monster?
Minox.
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's go to Star Wars for a little bit here.
Yeah. It always comes down to Star Wars or Beatles.
Yeah. Let's see. That one's probably too hard. Oh. No, that one's too dumb. Because like this question's dumb. Where was Slave One docked at the Cloud City? Was it the north platform, the east platform, the south platform, or the west platform?
Do they say that in the movie? Otherwise, it's not fair.
Yeah, they must say it. But that's dumb. It's the east. Questions like that. It's like,
hey, who cares?
Yeah. What kind of gas do they extract?
Oh, wait. At Cloud City?
Yeah. There's no way that you would get it.
Okay.
It is Tibana gas.
Okay, so I would have almost gotten it because I was going to say Tiberium because I was thinking of Tiberium crystals or something.
Let's see. Yeah, see, these questions, they're just like, they're so obscure. I mean, the book is so big, I guess they got to come up with stuff. Okay, well, here's one. What was Luke Skywalker dangling from beneath Cloud City?
Oh, that's a good question because I never freaking knew. He like falls through the garbage disposal or something, and then is like, I guess, an antenna of some sort.
Oh, this is funny. Okay, so is it a satellite dish, an antenna, a weather vane, or a sensor array?
Oh, okay. It's a sensor array.
No, it's a weather vane.
A weather vane.
I mean,
okay.
What? That did not look like a weather vane. It looked like an antenna to me. See, these questions are stupid.
Okay, hold on. What is the name of the creature that has the vagina lips in the cantina?
Oh, I don't know.
The one that gets that almost gets in a fight with Luke, but not the guy whose arm gets cut off. He's like,
yeah, I don't know.
And he's got the little vagina lips.
Well, those aren't banthas, are they?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What are they?
I actually just realized I got them messed up because I was going to say they're snaggletooths, but that's the other creature they show. But I had the toy. Hold
Good
on.
trivia question.
Hold on. Cantina.
Here's one that's actually kind of good. Where was the rendezvous point at which Luke Skywalker told Lando Calrissian he would meet him?
In after he went to Yoda, or which?
It was in. Well, let's see. So he said he was going to meet him. Well, let's see. When would Luke Skywalker have talked to Lando about meeting him somewhere?
Oh wait, to Lando.
Yeah.
Okay, that would have been Return.
But this is in the Empire Strikes Back section. So I assume.
But Luke didn't.
I know.
Luke didn't meet Lando until the very end.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Yes, it's at the very end. Duh. Because Lando takes off in the Millennium Falcon and they're communicating, and Luke says,
right.
"I'll meet you at Tatooine."
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because they had to go to Jabba the Hutt and get Han back.
Okay. It's Ponda Baba. Ponda Baba is the name
trivia.
Of the character. But the species I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. Is Aqualish. Aqualish.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. So, let's see. Name 3 of the actors who played Jack Ryan.
Oh, that's easy. Well, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. Oh, wait. No, that's not easy. Oh, yes, that is easy. All right. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And Office.
Yeah.
Jim from
Halpert,
The Office.
Yeah. John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Do you know the 4th?
Wait, what?
Ben Affleck.
Duh! I never saw that one, but it's the
Some of Our
Armageddon one.
Fears. Some of All Fears.
Some of All Fears. Yeah. Oh, right.
All
Darn
right.
it, that's a good, tricky question.
Give me a question.
But I did get 3 of them. Oh, okay, fair enough. Name the other actor who played Bourne.
Oh, was it Jeremy Renner?
Actually, no, because he wasn't playing Bourne.
Oh.
He wasn't playing Bourne. So no, it was older. It's an older actor.
I don't know.
In the 80s. Okay,
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. He
Wait.
also played.
The Bourne Identity, there was a movie in the 80s?
It was one of those where they would release it on TV, like in a.
Oh.
What was that called? A serial or something? Yeah. Like where you watched it 2 nights in a row or something.
A series.
I'll give you a miniseries, yes. I'll give you a hint. He also played a samurai in another miniseries.
Oh.
Famous.
Yeah.
Famous miniseries.
It's not. It's the guy from. Are you talking about the guy from Shogun?
Yes. And he also played a bad priest in another miniseries.
His name is on the tip of my tongue.
Oh yes, you basically know who it is, but
It's like Richard
Chamberlain.
Yeah, Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain. Okay. And who was the actress in the old Bourne Identity?
I don't know. I haven't seen this movie.
Tremendous crush on.
Now, you're just asking me questions so you can
Okay,
prove
fine,
you
fine,
know
fine.
something. That's not a
No,
trivia
no.
question.
Oh, okay, fine.
I've never seen the movie.
She was also in Charlie's Angels. There, the 80s version.
Okay, well, the Charlie's Angels that I can remember are Farrah Fawcett, and I can't remember the other two guys.
Starts with a J.
I don't know.
Okay, Jacqueline Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence won Best Actress Academy Award in 2012 for what romantic comedy drama?
Oh man, the one, this notebook, the scrapbook, playbook, playbook, the short ending scrapbook.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yes, that's it.
The short ending scrapbook. All right, your
I couldn't
turn.
remember. All right.
That's like the porn version.
Who played the first Dumbledore?
Let's see. It was the guy who died.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Wasn't it Sir Richard Harris?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Which famous film composer wrote the music for Tim Burton's 1989 Batman?
Oh.
He's a famous...
Prince!
No, Danny Elfman.
No, but Prince's song was...
Danny
featured.
Elfman.
Okay, but Prince's song was in the videos.
No.
Yeah.
Though you're
Stop
right.
the press. Who is that?
Right.
Vicky
Of course.
Vale.
Yeah. Yeah, Bat Dance and all that stuff.
Dance.
Yeah, that's
Which I
interesting.
hate.
That's an interesting question because
Yeah.
Prince wrote a lot of the music for it, but I guess Danny Elfman was the
Right.
the main score composer guy.
Oh, well, going with that theme, what was... okay, well, I don't know. What was the movie that... That's too easy.
Have you run out of prepared questions?
Oh, yeah, I ran out.
I'll just do it to you now.
All right.
What's the highest grossing foreign language film at the U.S. box office?
Highest grossing foreign language film.
You probably won't get it, but I'll give you a
Box
hint if you don't know it.
Foreign language, highest grossing... Man, Amelie.
So I'll give you some hints. It is foreign language, but it's an American movie.
Oh. What? Say what? Foreign language American movie. And is it recent or old?
It was in the early aughts, if I remember right.
Oh.
My next hint is the last hint I'll give.
Okay.
Mel Gibson directed it.
Oh, Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And it's foreign because it was in Aramaic or something.
Right.
Wow. That's a crazy one.
Right. Let's see. Who was the only person ever to receive an Oscar nomination for acting in a Star Wars movie?
A nomination for acting in a Star... Oh, Sir Alec Guinness.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Okay, here. What was the name of a famous movie where people are in a boat and it sinks and they almost all drown except that they save themselves at the end?
Oh, just the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Titanic?
Close.
That literally fits the description of the movie.
It does. But not everyone saves themselves.
But people save themselves.
But what's the other big famous one that was... And they did a remake of it.
Where they're in a boat and it almost sinks, but they save themselves?
It definitely sinks and they save themselves, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of movies like that.
It starts with a P. It's 2 words. The second word literally describes what they're going through.
Let's see, movies about boats.
And it was remade. There's a scene where they have to hold their breath for a long time to swim under a thing to get out on the other side, and like the priest has to do it first, and then it's a kid has to do it, and it's really difficult.
And it's a remake.
And they made a remake of it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Poseidon Adventure.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was from like the 80s and 70s or something, right?
I don't know when the original was. Yeah. It was probably 70s maybe.
Yeah. There was a bunch of disaster movies in the 70s, like The Towering Inferno and all those kinds of movies.
Right. It was a big topic.
So in 1994, Jim Carrey had 3 blockbuster movies. What were they?
3?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think these were
Jeez.
3 of his first movies.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well then Ace Ventura, Pet Detective,
which I recently rewatched, by the way.
In 94. Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
Really?
Good.
That soon after, okay.
I'll give that to you since you got 2 out of 3. If you get 3 out of 3, then that's amazing.
And in 1994, Batman.
No, The Mask.
The Mask.
That's a good guess, though. Batman would have been around that time.
Well,
also,
but I
also the
like,
cable guy.
Right, but they wouldn't have cast him in Batman yet because he hadn't had those hits yet. So
I guess.
The Mask, by the way, was a dark movie.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Yeah. And Cable Guy, actually, I really love Cable Guy.
Yeah, Ace Ventura. It's pretty funny. Alrighty then. This is, you won't get it, but I think it's just sort of interesting. What was the first movie ever to be rated PG-13?
First movie ever to be rated? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because in the 80s, like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark was PG.
Right. Well, I guess you didn't live in the States when this happened, but I remember when they added this distinction.
PG-13. I might need a hint.
Yeah. So 1984, and
84.
Let's see, what hint shall I give? Well, they made a remake of this movie.
Oh, Ghostbusters.
No, but it's a good guess. That'd be around that time.
Yeah.
And that would potentially have been PG-13, although I probably guess that would be PG.
84.
It's a movie about, how do I...
Footloose.
No, it's not a bad guess, but Footloose is definitely PG.
Okay.
It has...
It's a racy,
It has Patrick Swayze.
Oh, okay. Dirty Dancing.
No, that's a good guess.
What? Ghost.
Ghost is later than that.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Of course it's later.
It has Charlie Sheen.
Oh, The Outsiders.
Good guess, but that's earlier.
What is going on? I'm so...
It has the girl from Dirty Dancing, Jennifer. I can't remember her name.
Really?
It has
Roadhouse?
No, that's later than that. Red Dawn.
Oh, I never saw that movie.
You never saw Red Dawn?
Never saw it because it wasn't a thing in Colombia.
Oh my God, that movie was right up my alley. I mean, so I'm 13 years old at the height of Reaganism and anti-Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And this movie actually takes place in kind of rural West Coast. You know, I think they even say they're in Washington or somewhere. I think they're supposed to be in Montana anyway. But this was a total fantasy, which was, you know, the Russians are going to invade and we got to like defend ourselves. We have to be and the interesting thing about this movie when you watch it is like it's highly jingoistic.
Yeah,
but
I can imagine.
It basically sympathizes with insurgents like in Afghanistan. It's basically a American version of the war in Afghanistan, where you have a foreign power that invades rural part of your country, and you go into the hills and kill the enemy and loot their goods and blah blah blah. Anyway,
and probably with all sorts of creative tactics because you don't have the
right. But the movie's brutal too. I mean,
is it?
I'm surprised it's PG-13 because there's so much death in that movie.
Wow. Oh, okay. What are the actual names of the creatures in the Gremlins movies?
Well, there's Mogwai.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of the creatures.
No, I think that's his name.
I think they're called Mogwai. I think they're called Mogwai.
I could have swore his name was...
I think the creatures themselves are called Mogwai. Because I don't think the kid names it Mogwai, right? He just...
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Mogwai is the name of the creatures.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Top 10 highest grossing movies, not accounting for inflation. So
not accounting for inflation.
So these would be all recent movies.
Oh, okay. Starting in order, or just name them?
If you can give me 5 of them, then I'll give you the point.
All right, Harry Potter and the Prisoner. And the last movie. Oh my gosh, Harry Potter and the.
No.
So there's no Harry Potter in the top 10.
No, I'll give you.
What?
I'll give you 10 guesses. So that's a no.
That's crazy, by the way. All right, fine. Endgame, Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Okay. That's crazy that Harry Potter got bumped. Okay. I know. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
No? Okay. Wow.
This might be harder.
Kids movies.
Yeah.
Okay. A Disney movie. A recent Disney movie. Why am I blanking? Okay.
Well, you're on to something.
Was I? Okay. What was a recent Disney movie? Recent Disney movies. Have I seen any Disney movies? I don't know.
Yeah, there's 2.
Okay, fine. Other superhero movies. Batman. One of the Batmans. Oh, fine. Joker. Joker's one of them.
No,
Joker's not one of them. Okay.
Highest grossing R-rated movie.
R-rated movie. Pokemon. The Pokemon movie.
What Pokemon movie?
The one that came out just 2 years ago.
There was a Pokemon movie that came out 2 years ago? And you think that, like...
Or a year ago, actually.
No.
Pokemon's huge, man.
Yeah.
Pokemon's huge.
Yeah.
Apparently not huge enough, but it's huge. Okay, geez.
There's some obvious ones on here that you're gonna. So in the top 5, there are. So you said Endgame, right? That's number 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are known highly grossing movies.
Star Wars, one of the Star Wars ones. So the Last Jet. The Force Awakens.
That's right.
Okay. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And then we'll keep going with superheroes then, because I bet you Spider-Man Homecoming.
Nope.
No, that one wasn't as good. But Thor Ragnarok.
Nope.
Not is Ragnarok the one where they're fighting in the other? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, one more guess.
Oh, geez, really? Oh, there's a Pixar movie in here. There's got to be a Pixar movie. What was the last Pixar movie?
Nope.
Inside Out.
No Pixar. So Avatar.
Oh my God. Avatar.
Titanic.
Still holding on to the stupid. Titanic is still holding on to a spot.
Avengers: Infinity War.
Sure.
And then the next ones are kind of more not noted. I wouldn't have guessed, but Jurassic World, which is terrible.
Okay.
The Lion King, the most recent one.
Really? It already bumped into the top? Wow.
Yeah. The Avengers, which kind of makes sense. Furious 7, which kind of makes sense. And then
That's surprising.
Here's the weird one, but I guess makes sense, is Frozen 2. Even though it was terrible.
That's surprising.
It's like top 10, and it's probably still making money. Okay, highest grossing films adjusting for inflation.
Okay. Gone with the Wind.
Good.
Waterworld. No, just kidding. But Titanic still.
Yep.
And Avatar.
Yep.
Okay. Star Wars.
Which one?
A New Hope.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you're 4 for 4.
Okay. E.T.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
So you just won it, but let's see if you can continue the that's amazing.
Okay. See, it shows my age. I just don't know recent movies, apparently. The Ten Commandments.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What? Holy crap.
6 for 6.
Well, then, some big 80s block. Oh, yeah. Aliens.
No.
Oh. Well, then Terminator 2.
No.
What? Okay, now I'm falling.
Jurassic
Park.
No. One of your favorite movies of all time. From
Really?
from a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's an old... Oh, Sound of Music.
That's right.
Oh.
And then
Wow.
Avengers Endgame.
Okay, that one still bumps in there. Okay.
Another Star Wars movie, Force Awakens.
Awakens.
And then Dr. Zhivago.
I would not have guessed that at all. That's crazy.
Yeah. My grandma loved the theme to that song. Laura, my love, da 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 da. And she wanted me to sing that song to her at her 88th birthday party, which I did.
Oh. You know, I think that Dr. Zhivago was, or maybe is, or whatever, my dad's favorite movie.
Well, let's take a break, and when we get back, I'll pepper you with some more questions. What do you say, Berto?
Let's do it.
All right, we're back from the break. So let's see, who would I pick here? If Lando Calrissian were to ask everyone to become a patron of the podcast, what would he sound like? Well, it was inviting some racism in there.
Oh, okay.
If Han Solo were.
Listen, I've got this all figured out. It's not even a risk to you. I've done this a million times. We're going to use the same old routes I use. All you got to do is come with me, become a patron of this podcast. It'll be fine. The Empire will never know what hit them. We will have patrons. You'll have an awesome podcast. What could go wrong?
What is the only X-rated film to win Best Picture at the Oscars?
Oh my God. What? Caligula?
Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why Caligula would. It is an interesting movie, but
And
Midnight
and
Cowboy.
pretty X-rated,
Very X-rated.
even kind of by today's standards.
Yeah, definitely.
Who was the first and only woman of color to win the Oscar for Best Actress?
First and only. Wait, there's only been one?
Well, maybe this question was a couple years ago, but I think it's still true.
Oh my gosh.
At least the first.
And the worst part is I don't know.
Halle Berry.
Oh, for Monsters Ball?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's interesting.
You'll know this one. What movie
Okay.
star was killed off in the opening scene of Scream?
Drew Barrymore. Which, by the way, was it on the podcast that I had this problem where I couldn't remember her name? Wasn't it us? We were like, what's her name? What's her name?
Probably, yeah.
Dude, it's the weirdest thing because like it's happened to me more than once where I'm like, wait, what's her name? And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a non-conventional name. And
Yeah. I have a I guess Drew.
Drew.
That's interesting. But when you grow up with certain people, their name transcends the name convention. Anyway, you probably know this one as well. What's the name of Riley's imaginary friend in Inside Out?
Oh, yeah. Bing Bong.
That's right. Good.
Bing Bong. Forget the song.
This one is going to be hard, but is interesting. Only 3 movies in history have won the Big Five at the Oscars. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Actress. Name one of them.
Oh. Okay. Actually. Oh, no, he didn't win Best Actor, actually. I was going to say Amadeus, but he actually did. He won Best Supporting, but not Best Actor. Okay. Sound of Music.
Nope. I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Okay.
2
Easy.
One of them is kind of easy, but the other 2 are like, what?
Right. Well, one of them swept the Oscars, so Birdman.
No.
Okay. No problems. No worries. We're fine. We're still fine.
All these movies are from 20 plus years ago.
Okay. Right. Easy. Titanic.
No.
No, of course not. Okay. Sorry.
So-
Blank slate. I'm starting over. I was just kidding. All those were fake guesses. On the Waterfront.
No. So the one that I thought maybe you would know, but this is a hard question, is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
Because that's kind of a known movie that swept the Oscars. But what's interesting
Jack
is that it won.
Nicholson won the.
Yeah,
Best
but
Actor.
what's interesting is it won Best Actress for Nurse Ratched.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah. And here's an interesting one.
Can you give me a hint on? I want to guess at least one.
There's so many hints. This movie you've seen a number of times. It's from the 90s.
Forrest Gump.
And no, that's a good guess. That's a good guess for this. It has the lead is a woman.
Oh.
And
Yes. I know this.
And it's a thriller. And it's very famous.
Very famous.
And
It's not Aaron Brockovich.
I didn't know it won any Oscars, honestly, let alone all of the Big Five.
Oh my gosh.
There's
Fargo.
No. Okay, here's a hint. It has American Woman by Tom Petty.
American Woman.
No, by Tom Petty.
Oh. Okay.
Highlighted in the movie. That's the only hint I can give that
And I've seen
that
this
isn't
movie?
obvious. Oh yeah, you've seen this movie probably 10.
And it's a woman lead?
You quote this movie on a weekly
And I
basis.
quote this movie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
I mean, it might be early aughts, but it was, that long ago. I think it's early 90s, honestly.
Gosh.
So,
I'm blanking on this.
so when Tom Petty is played, there's a woman in a car, like I think it's a VW Bug, and she's driving down the street, and she's, and she's singing along to this song, and
Yeah.
she doesn't know that she's about to become a victim.
Oh. Wow. Jeez.
When I tell you,
know.
okay, I got to tell you another. The FBI is featured.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
I mean, because I couldn't
Am
say.
I pretty?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. I couldn't say, like, it puts the lotion in the basket.
Yes.
I couldn't say fava beans. I couldn't say Clarice.
I'm embarrassed.
It's too obvious.
Yes,
So I was like,
yes.
okay, well, American.
Yes.
The song by Tom Petty's called American Woman, right?
Well,
Maybe I have that wrong. Tom Petty, American Girl.
American Girl.
God damn it.
She was
An American
That's why I
Girl.
wasn't able to sing it. I'm like, I'm American.
And then the other one is It Happened One Night, which is a very old movie.
Okay.
All right.
Those are hard.
What 6 films are the only horror movies to ever compete for an Oscar, of any Oscar?
Oh, horror movies. Okay. The Exorcist.
Yeah, good.
Rosemary's Baby.
No.
Should have. The Omen. Should have.
No.
It should have. I mean, I'm throwing all these results out because that one should have been in.
So actually,
fine,
the category of horror is kind of broad.
Okay.
So Silence of the Lambs is in this.
That doesn't count. But
So-
okay.
Yeah, so think of Hollywood's version of horror.
Okay, so not just like literally horror, but
I mean, The Exorcist is the only one in here
Exorcist.
that I would call kind of classic
That one's
horror.
definitely classic horror. Oh, okay. So these are more like a horrific movie.
Or just like horror adjacent for non-horror
Oh my gosh.
watchers.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was nominated.
So dun 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 dun.
Jaws is. How's that a horror movie?
Yeah. I See Dead People.
Okay, I guess. Okay, I guess that one counts. Yes.
But this one, Jordan Peele.
Sorry, Sixth Sense. Okay. Yeah, Get Out counts.
Yeah. And
That counts.
Black Swan.
Okay.
Who was the first African American to win the Academy Award for Best Actor?
First African American for Best Actor, Sidney Poitier.
That's right.
Okay. For Mississippi Burning.
I think so. Which James Bond movie was the first for Pierce Brosnan?
Which Bond movie was the first? Oh, for GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And in fact, that was a great video game. Did you ever play
Right.
GoldenEye? On
I didn't.
Nintendo?
That was in a time in my
I
life
missed
when
you.
I didn't own any video games. I couldn't afford it.
Okay.
So you actually said this earlier. Which films did Tom Hanks receive an Academy Award for Best Actor?
Philadelphia Story and Forrest Gump.
Philadelphia.
Oh, sorry, Philadelphia. Philadelphia Story is a much older movie.
Yeah.
That's actually a good movie, but it's not the same.
What Disney princess dresses up as a man to save her father? Disney princess.
Disney princess dresses up as a man to save her father.
So
In a
she's
the
not-
Disney movie?
she's not actually a princess. She's a Disney
She
woman,
counts as a
female
Disney-
lead. She counts as one of the classic
As one of the
Disney ladies.
dresses up as a Mulan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love that movie.
great.
Who was the only non-Jedi in the original trilogy to use a lightsaber?
In the original trilogy, it's Han to open up the Tauntaun's tummy.
That's right.
I thought these things smelled bad on the outside. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Okay, I have one for you. How many lightsaber colors are there officially?
Okay, well, there's
Or which,
there's red, blue, purple, and green. So I'll say 4.
And yellow.
Is there yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
5, I think. But I'm sure there's more and we're not nerdy enough, so sorry.
Well, let me type it into the Google since you're just making shit up at this time. How many colors lightsabers? Current, there are 7.
What are the other 2? Orange and...
I don't know.
Or is it black or something
Who knows?
weird? White? We missed white.
Approximately how many languages can C-3PO speak?
I am well versed in over 6 million forms of communication.
That's right. In Rogue One, what is the Empire removing from the holy city of Jeddah?
There's a temple. There's an ancient Jedi temple.
Yeah.
They're removing that, or removing? No. They're removing an ancient artifact.
They're removing things that actually have to do with lightsabers.
Oh, the crystals, the Kuiper crystals.
Yeah, Kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals.
Let's see. What character did Uma Thurman play in Batman?
Oh yeah. She played Poison Ivy.
Yeah. Is it Poison Ivy or just Ivy?
Poison Ivy. Ivy is her like normal US or like her day-to-day name, but the bad guy is Poison Ivy.
Did you read comics with Poison Ivy in it when you were kids?
No. So I actually didn't read that many superhero comics growing up. I had Batman's, and ironically, but not those. And I actually didn't own that many comic books. I had a small stash, like a Star Wars one, a couple Batman ones, a couple League of Superheroes ones, stuff like that. And it was a precious stash. I didn't start collecting because I didn't have money to collect them. But I didn't start collecting them till I was in high school.
Yeah, that was the problem with comic books for me growing up, was I couldn't afford to spend even just like $1 on these things. I didn't have $1 to spend. And the comic books were so episodic that
yes, you had to get them all.
Yeah, and the comic books would just be on a rack at the grocery store, and there was no way in. You know, it wasn't like start here or here's the start of the next story. It was just like the next issue.
Yeah.
And so the few comic books I got my hands on were like hand-me-downs or something. I found I loved Iron Man. I just loved the idea of a suit that you could do stuff with, and
because it seemed more realistic, right? Like a metal suit, you could get behind that.
I could be Iron Man, you know. And the problem was the comics I read, I had no idea what was happening. I mean, I don't think it was designed for kids. I think it was designed for older people. You know what I mean?
All right, who played Batgirl in the George Clooney Batman movie? Batman and Robin. What actress played Batgirl?
Well, I know Halle Berry was. It was Michelle Pfeiffer.
That was Catwoman.
Oh, who did you say?
I'm talking about Batgirl.
Oh, Batgirl.
The sidekick, Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Sidekick to George Clooney and Chris, what's his name?
Chris, yeah. He's in like a CIS show right now.
She was famous before this movie for sure.
Give me a hint.
Blonde. She was in a movie where she offered. It was related to Lolita in a way. This movie that she was in.
So it wasn't Silverstone or whatever that girl.
Yes, Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, okay. I think I kind of remember that. What's the first non-English language film to win an Oscar for Best Picture?
Non-English language to win an Oscar for Best... Oh, it wasn't Passion of the Christ?
Nope.
No. To win an Oscar for Best Picture.
Wait, yeah.
Is it old or recent?
Very, very recent.
Oh. Right. Right. Why am I blanking on this? Ah, man. I think I even bet on it to win at your party.
Parasite.
Yes, Parasite.
What is Stephen King's top grossing movie?
Stephen King's top grossing movie.
Ironically.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like it? Or?
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Oh, it's not. It wouldn't be Lawnmower Man. That would be terrible. That was not high grossing. Okay. Of course. The Shining.
Yeah.
But yes, that makes sense.
He hates it.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. Because it didn't follow close enough or whatever. Yeah.
In the movie The Usual Suspects, what is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled?
Oh, was convincing people that he didn't exist.
Yeah.
Kaiser Soze says that.
Yeah. What is the name of Edward Norton's character in the Fight Club?
Sorry, by the way, did I ever tell you about my friend? We were watching this movie in college, and we're watching The Usual Suspects, and I'd already seen it, and I'm so excited, and it's my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, you got to watch this movie, and we get to the end, and I'm like, so? And she's like, well, I fell asleep for a lot of it. I just caught the ending here. So I don't really know much what was going on. I'm like, wait. How much of the ending you see? I don't know. He's like, I'm Kaiser Soze or whatever. I'm like, no! Because honestly, that movie on rewatch isn't actually as great as I thought it was.
It's not that good the first time either.
Well, at the time, and I was a lot younger, at the time, that twist for me was fabulous.
Yeah. When I saw that movie when it came out, I remember thinking, whatever. And then it was 15 years later that suddenly everyone was talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's certain movies like that, like Back to the Future actually was like that for me.
Weird.
When I saw Back to the Future, it was a good movie, but there were so many good movies in the mid-'80s that I saw. Back to the Future was just one of probably 50 movies. If you would have asked me in 1989, what are the movies of the 80s that are going to be remembered? I don't know if Back to the Future would have been in the list because now it is a good movie. It's a good movie. I've rewatched it. It definitely holds up for sure. Yeah. 2 and 3, I don't know. Yeah.
But 1 is
it's a near perfect movie. Good. But at the time, culturally speaking, Back to the Future was not dominant. And when I started hearing people talk about it, in probably around the year 2000s, people started talking about like a few people would say, my favorite movie is Back to the Future. I remember being like, what?
I wonder if there was an age difference thing. Like at your age group,
I saw it when I was 12. I saw it when I was 13. So
yeah, but I was 9, and
right.
Man, I gotta tell you, when I saw it, there was nothing cooler.
Right. So age difference. Another movie is Goonies. So I saw Goonies. I would have been about 13.
Yeah.
And I thought, fine movie, whatever. And then in the year around the year 2000, at the Egyptian Theater, they have these midnight showings of old movies, and they'll show old classics, and they showed Goonies. And I thought, who wants to watch Goonies?
But I was like, a lot of people.
But I was like, well, I'll go just because I remember that movie. And I went, and it was packed with people younger than me. And I was like, oh. So, it does definitely have to do with age, I think, kind of. But I think that every decade gets reduced to a few components because we don't have enough brain power to remember. When you think about the 60s, you think about the Beatles, the Stones,
Yeah, right. And then everything else is and the rest.
Yeah, but if you were a 14-year-old in 1966, you probably listened to the Beatles, but you probably listened to 50 other bands that you loved as well.
Sure.
And so but we don't. If you named those 50 other bands, you'd be like, I've never even heard of them. So we reduce these things down to these. And the older I get, the more I see that. And on some level, it bothers me. I don't know why it bothers me, but it's a disjoint that I feel between younger generations when they sort of fetishize things, thinking that we at the time fetishized them because
I do get that, and I feel it too. I feel like you're out on a limb on the Back to the Future one, though, just because that one just had too many iconic things about it.
I was in the States when I saw that movie.
Yeah.
And
there's a Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios.
But when was it built?
Oh, sure. But when were a lot of those rides built?
But I'm saying that like it was built well after the fact. It was a big movie, and it, you know, it was important, but I don't remember people fetishizing it. Like, I don't
name another time travel movie.
But I don't remember. I remember. So if you would have said, you know, a big movie from that time was Return of the Jedi or something, I'd be like, yeah. Or,
yeah, 83.
God damn it, the other Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones,
the Last Crusade,
the Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you would have said Raiders of the Lost Ark is going to stand the test of time, when people think of the 80s movies, they're going to think of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I would have been like, well, yeah, because that was in the 80s a cultural phenomenon.
It was 80, but yeah,
because
totally.
You know, there were sequels. There were video games, there were books that came out, there were series that came out. It was a cultural, if you would have said a movie that's going to survive is going to be that movie. But if you would have said Back to the Future, I would have been like, huh? Because there wasn't a culture around that movie. It was...
I guess. It had the DeLorean, it had the skateboarding.
But it's younger people who were younger than me, who it took them a while to have... financial power to dominate sort of kitsch culture or past culture.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
And by the time they became of age and started proliferating this around the internet, I was like, where is this coming from?
But I mean, that was one of the big blockbusters in the 80s, you know what I mean?
But there's so many. Like let's look at like
well, and I think it's grouped with them. It's grouped with
movies.
them. I don't think that it's the only, you know, defining movie of the
Full
80s.
Metal Jacket. Ferris Bueller. To me, Ferris Bueller was a bigger phenomenon.
No.
What do you mean,
way.
no?
First of all, it's late 80s, so that doesn't quite count. It's almost 90s at that point.
Ferris Bueller was 1 year after Back to the Future.
It's not as broad appeal because it was rated probably PG-13. Right?
Terminator
Gandhi, is definitely the Terminator is
Scarface.
Definitely identified with the 80s.
Stand by Me. So here's one movie, Stand By Me.
Yeah, that one's it.
So right now, if you asked a 20-year-old to name movies from the 80s,
of course not.
I bet you anything they would say, "Oh, Back to the Future," even though they weren't even alive.
Maybe
when so for them, Back to the Future is the 80s movie. But
I wouldn't say that. I think it's in the list.
Okay, it's in the list. But would they name Stand By Me?
Of course, but they shouldn't name Stand By Me.
But Stand By Me was
There's no DeLorean in Stand By Me.
But it was a huge movie. I'm just saying.
People die all the time.
For people who grew up in the 60s, I bet you anything, or 70 or whatever, I bet you anything they had a similar experience where they look to younger people and they're like, you have a different version of my decade than I did, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with having a different version. Like,
well, you're also looking at it just from the U.S. standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Because internationally, I don't even know if Stand By Me, maybe it played, but I got to tell you, Back to the Future played internationally.
Okay. You know, because like when I was a teenager, we fetishized the 60s. We just thought the 60s was like the coolest. And and as an example of this, because I love the Beatles, I just kind of liked all bands like that. And one of the bands that's like the Beatles is the Monkees.
Yeah.
And so I went to school. I was probably, 15. And I had like a pin of the Monkees or something, like, the Monkees. And I probably had pins of the Beatles and pins of the Monkees. And this teacher who was, 10, 15, 20 years older than me, she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, I see you have some pins of the Beatles." And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, you like the Beatles?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she says, "I also see you have pins of the Monkees." I'm like, "Yeah, Monkees, Beatles, 60s, it's great." And she's like, "So the Beatles were awesome and the Monkees were corny. So they shouldn't be in the same category in your mind." And so, but I didn't know that because to me, it was all just 60s music stuff. Like the Monkees had some awesome songs, take the last train to Clarkville and, and Daydream Believer. Like, these are great songs.
Yeah,
like, I didn't
yeah.
know that they were considered to be cheesy and silly. So it's just it's an interesting thing to see people fetishize things from my childhood in a way that we didn't fetishize them at the time.
Yeah.
And in a way that acknowledged that there were many offerings of culture in the 80s, not just a limited set. Anyway, what was the name of Edward Norton's character in the Fight Club?
Oh, there's no name given.
Awesome. Good job.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Who opens the door to the ballroom when Maria is dancing around in The Sound of Music?
Captain Von Trapp. Oh, no. Yes, Captain Von Trapp. Because she was told explicitly not to go in there, not to go exploring.
How many children are in the Von Trapp family?
Okay, so there's Liesel and Frederick and Brigitte and Gretel and
Jeez.
The other boy and one of there's 7 children. There's 7 children.
My God, that's awesome.
Okay.
I mean, plus it's, doe, a deer, if it's
Yeah.
it's right. Isn't that coincidental with the scale?
Oh, I never thought of that. What? That's just mind blown. Connections.
Whose liver did Hannibal Lecter eat aside fava beans and a nice Chianti in the film Science of Life?
Nice bottle of Chianti. Right. So I had a such and such. Was it a therapist? Was it a census bureau person?
Yes, census taker.
A census taker. Okay.
What was Jenny and Forrest's son's name in Forrest Gump?
Jenny. Oh man, Little Forrest.
Yes, Forrest.
Oh,
Jr.
it is? Oh, okay.
Forrest Jr. I mean, it just breaks your heart because he comes over and Jenny's like, Forrest is like, "What's his name?" And
Little
Jenny says,
Forrest.
his name is Forrest," and Forrest is like, "Oh." And Jenny
that's
says,
my name.
And Jenny says, "Just like his father," and Forrest is like, "He has a father named Forrest too." But that moment just kills me because the look on, Tom Hanks' face as it dawns on him, one, that it's his son, two, that he has a son, and then it dawns on him, shit, is he stupid like me? He turns around, he's like, is he, I can't remember the question he asked, but it's just heartbreaking, you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
In Back to the Future, what type of car is the time machine?
Back to the what? I don't know. That was an 80s movie. A DeLorean.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. In Kung Fu Panda, Poe's adopted father, Mr. Ping, is a what?
Oh, right. He is a bird. Pelican? No. He's a stork.
No, he's a goose.
A goose. I don't know my birds.
What are the titles of movies within the superhero trilogy by M. Night Shyamalan?
Oh, yeah. So there's Unbreakable.
Yeah.
There is the personality one. What's it called? The people. Oh man, Split.
Yeah.
And then there is the last one, which is
the third person in the triumvirate.
Oh, Glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the first sports film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture?
Oh, whoa. There must be some football movie. Oh, no. Wait a minute. No. There was a soccer movie. There was a movie about World War II with soccer in it, with Pele in it.
But it won. This is a movie that won Best Picture.
This was a great movie. It should have won Best Picture.
But you got to think of movies that won Best Picture.
The Replacements.
Yeah, that's not a bad. It's
The Last Yard.
That never would have. Oh, Last Yard could have.
First Yard.
Rocky.
Oh no! Of course. Of course.
These next two, I'm guessing you'll
that's
get.
Painful.
What is the name of the kingdom where Frozen is set?
Oh, Arendelle.
And what year did Frozen come out in?
Oh.
Because
shoot.
I was surprised.
Okay. All right. It came out in 2013.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So, because to me, it was just yesterday.
I know. It just came out a couple of years ago.
But I also remember that kids were singing Let It Go at your 40th birthday party.
It's insane, dude.
Last question. In what film did actor Brad Pitt star as David Mills?
Brad Pitt. David Mills. 7.
That's right.
One of my favorite movies.
Okay, so let's see. 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2, 11-2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19-3, 19-4, 20, 21, 21-5, 21-6, 22-6, 22-7, 22-8, 22-9, 23-24, or say, 25, 25-10, 25-11, 26-11. This is like the dumbest. This is the dumbest section of podcasting I've ever done in my life.
1, 2, 5, 6.
It's 26-12, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So 34, looks like about 34 to 17. So you got about,
oh my gosh,
you got about 2/3 right. That's pretty good.
So, I mean, I didn't know we were going to do so many because I only prepared 15 questions. But of the ones that I did, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 15.
Oh, man, I failed.
But I, to be fair, I asked some tougher ones.
Well, I don't know.
Ones.
You did pretty good. I mean, you pulled some shit.
I didn't do Beardos, though. I didn't pull Beardos this time.
You pulled some good things out of your butt, like, on the waterfront.
I should have asked you the ones I wrote in the text message when you told me what we were doing. I was like, what type of pants did the Joker's henchman wear in Batman?
Yeah. All right, people. Well, if you're still listening, let's have the phrase that pays, that demonstrates that you listened to this whole thing, which is Yakitori Plaza.
Yakitori Plaza.
That is the phrase that pays. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because
you deserve it.